So you go to simplymap, and now what I would do first, you don't have to hit launch map wizard. That's for the people that have no clue. We'll just go start here. So let's look for a location first. So point to location. And we want to look for, what was it? Which location? I'm looking at LA only? LA only, right? Yeah. So then pick county, and then pick California, and then type in Los Angeles, pick LA, and then use this location. And then close the tab, it's up in orange right there. So now we're in LA. Now, what do you want to look for? Well, I guess we have nothing to look at yet. So go to variables. And then you want to look for census data, or we can do a search. So what do you want to search for? Crime?
Crime.
So you can see ESA total crime index. Oh, you missed the E. So you remove that one, the X. So notice the top one, you can see that there's an action higher up, and then you can see you got view metadata. This tells you about how that was generated. That'd be a cool GIS exercise to make your own quality of life index for LA County. You determine what it is. Right now it's looking at weights are based on different crime data.
Weather data. This is the.
You're using.
This is the source.
Total crime, yeah. You have also one on quality of life, which looks at weather, crime, income, education. This is just on crime. So, okay, we'll accept that. So what you do is...
This is, it's not crime here, right? He looks at the weather and the quality of life.
That's a different one too, yeah. So this one will be crime. We go with quality of life next. So for ASI total crime index, use this variable, and then close the tab out the way. So now this is showing you crime index. If you zoom in closer, it breaks into smaller tracks. Actually, zip codes is the smallest you can go. So you're going even closer, it'll break into smaller geography. Yeah, so I have zip codes. So let's say that if you want that, what we do, what I would do is, I guess,
zip code.
Yeah, and you can only go down to zip code level. I think it's the smallest. By tracks or by zip code? We have it by tracks, don't we? By zip code or tracks, we have to decide. I think maybe it was zip code. Zip code. Yeah. So let's look at zip code for now. So if I go, tract is the smallest geography. You've got states, county, zip code, tract, block group, block.
Okay.
So I think the level that we were looking at maybe was zip code, but see, one city could be one zip code. Like Clemens, one zip code. If you want to go any smaller than that,
I'm not sure. I think zip code would be fine.
Because I don't think you have the option. If you're looking at crime, that's the smallest geography codes.
Yeah.
So go back to us as search and search up crime again, just so that we can be sure. And then we have to pull down menu, tell it to add to favorites, so you have it as favorites. Okay, now just look for some others. Like I'll type in income. You have to clear the crime. So then I'm going to look for median income, and I'll add that one to favorites too. Scroll up a bit. Family income median, add to favorites. So me as a GIS user, I would just want to collect the data. I don't necessarily need to see it in there. If I'm not a GIS user, I can use them, but I want to pull it out of here because I want to do more work with it. So then I want to look at maybe education. I don't think it's a factor what you need, but we can look up education, and I'll look at the percent with a bachelor's degree, and I'll say add to favorites. So eventually, when I close this, I can actually action export the shapefile.
Action, export
The shapefile. And change the geography down to the smallest geography, which is what's yours, zip code. Huh. If I zoom in, I wonder if I get. The reason why I'm looking at zip codes because the crime is only available in zip code. If I was to look at, for example, search, I look for the income again, and
you go by track.
If I was to say use this variable here, now it's by track level, right? So I can change the tracks, even down to block groups. So when I export this out, I have the option of using block groups. But if I hit block groups, notice crime is gone. So I think, well, maybe I'll go to census tract, it's still not available. Or maybe I'll go up to zip code, then it's available. So I can say, well, give me education, family income, crime, and something else. Right? Now, if I say, well, I want to go down to the track level instead, well, then we don't have any crime data for the track level. Right. So let's say we look at zip code right now, and then check all the items you want, and then put your email in here, and then send it yourself.
That's really cool.
So then it'll send you a shapefile.
The shapefile with
all the data for LA County with 3 attribute fields.
Yeah, so you can pick whatever you want.
Yeah. So if I'm working on a project, I can say, can you give me beer sales, Asian, Black, White, Hispanic, number of people that are Saudi Arabian, to number of people that watch country music TV. It'll give me one layer with all of those columns.
How do you evaluate this website?
Well, whenever you do
how long have you been using it?
A while, number 4 or 5 years, and if there are times when, for example, look at census data, and the lawyer says, if I use this, right? I say, lawyer, I found this great data, I'm going to use it. Then they'll say, well, how did you collect that data? And I think, well, I guess I could tell them that I can look up the metadata to show them, but then I need to explain to them how they did that. So what I normally do is I go to the census website and I download the original data from them, so I don't take any shortcuts. This is a great source for data, but if you whenever I work with, for example, lawyers, they want to be able to repeat this again, and if I can't validate exactly where this data comes from, then I may need to go to my original source again.
To the original source, just to get the
from the raw data. But if I'm looking for sales of beer, I'm not going to go out and pay people for some data. This gives me the data. So whenever you look at each one of these, it gives you.
Pretty reliable.
Well, you can see it has all the metadata in here, and then when you search for this data, like this, if I search for, let's say, CMT, Country Music TV, I don't watch it, but let's say if I did, it's got 4 stars, several stars, and I can see the metadata, and I can see how they collected it, and then I can say I want to I want to get like year 2015 and add the favorites, and I close this. So now I'm looking at Country Music TV followers, where people are watching country music, where they're watching country music TV. It looks pretty bland. I'll go to zip code. Yeah. Country music TV.
By track, yeah.
By track. So if I use this, I would cite simplymap. And then if people want to know more information, then make sure that you collect that data that was on here. That this tells you how they did it.
And you actually made sight of some of the work here. But what's
these are the people that provided that data, and I'd have to reference that and see how reliable that is. If I'm going to include in some research of mine, I just need to note where it comes from so I can reference it. Yeah.
Nice.
That's good data.
Very good.
So by now,
I mean, it's not free, but as a CGU student, you can access it. How much does it cost?
And I think we pay $15,000 a year to get access to this through the library. I don't know any other place except for the library where you can get this.
Okay.
Just
Great.
library.
That's a good.
So if I get this data that we just emailed ourselves,
You just download it and
here it is, and it's a zip file. So you download it. It'll be good for 48 hours. And then when I open this up, there's all my layers, files. That's one layer, 7 files. Copy this. I'm gonna put it into my folder. I put it into solar. So
that's for only
there it
one
is.
layer.
Only
That's
one
for
layer.
the.
That's,
do you know what that is?
well, actually, that's the layer files, but this is a README file. So if I open up the README file, it's giving me income, education, and crime. Those 3.
Okay.
So that means I can go back to my map
It'll
here.
save you a lot if you have many data sources with some attributes. You have to build all these layers. You just put them all as attributes. Right?
That's right. I'd say here's all you need is one layer for all your work. There it is. Everything's in there. No table joining, no nothing. So if I look at the folder, this is the one I just downloaded. There. So this is showing the, let's say, income. If I double click on here, I think, okay, symbology, quantities, income. Oops, I forgot what it is. It is
crime is
02 is income. Crime is 4. So if we go to 4, look at crime.
You can rename that as well, right?
Yes, I can go to fields. I can rename them here. So value 2 is this.
Income.
Go back to alias, and then value 3 is percent education. It makes, good point. It makes easier.
Of course. You'd have to go all over again to open the file.
You have to show people where to
So
find
what's
that.
the value one then?
So value 1 is just a probably track ID.
Ah, okay.
So if I want to look at showing value, oops, go back to feature, go back to quantities. Oh, I'm going to cancel this. Oops, I want
to see it.
Yeah, hit OK first. Okay, now I can go back here. Quantities, and then I'll show crime. I use 7 colors. Hit OK. Crime index. And if I want to show education, I can just drag this in. It's two same layer. Just drag it in.
And change the.
It says education.
Look at that.
There. Drag it in. This is showing income. Family income. There. So there's the 3 layers. One layer, but 3 different things.
Yeah.
And then here's the parcel data information, which is a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And you can figure out which ones are in a lower crime area. Like this is probably high crime in this area.
High crime means
high index of crime. Now with zip codes, you don't.
Is the LA is masked already, right? It is, right? Or...
Yeah. So this is. I would use the county boundary of LA rather than this because there are some holes in it. And if you zoom in some places, the boundaries may not be. They may have some little errors in here a little bit.
I don't think that would hurt.
So, oops. So these parcels, if you remember, have some information on productivity or savings, maybe, or I don't know what Vivian had mentioned from what she did last year, but it has some type of.
That's why next time she has to meet us, we just know what they call it, the equation that she did.
Rolling
for the electricity. Can you add DR in there so we have it all the same thing? Do you need to?
DR.
Yeah, the layers in here.
Okay.